Cindy, a 25-year-old woman living alone in a serene suburban neighborhood, often found her spacious house too quiet. Despite having a stable job and owning her home outright, she yearned for companionship. After researching pets known for their companionship, Cindy made a trip to the local animal shelter, unsure of the surprise awaiting her. Among the various animals vying for her attention, Cindy's heart was drawn to an older dog named Toby. She felt an instant connection with him, wanting to provide him with a loving home for the rest of his days. The initial months with Toby were filled with warmth and adjustment as they settled into a routine together. One evening, Toby returned home as usual, and Cindy went about preparing his meal. It was then that she noticed something peculiar, something tucked into Toby's collar. Curiosity piqued. She gently removed the item, revealing a small pouch filled with dollar bills. Astonished, Cindy counted the money, her mind racing with questions. Why would someone hide money in her dog's collar? Unsure of what to do next, Cindy debated involving the police but ultimately decided against it, fearing complications if the money was linked to illicit activities. Instead, Cindy reached out to a trusted friend and invited her to dinner, offering to foot the bill extravagantly. Her friend was surprised by Cindy's sudden display of wealth, knowing her modest lifestyle. Cindy casually brushed off inquiries about her newfound financial capabilities, attributing it to a recent high-paying job, a far cry from her actual role at a local daycare. The weeks passed, and Cindy continued to enjoy unexpected luxuries, even treating herself to dinners out and impressing a date by covering the bill at a posh restaurant. She couldn't shake the nagging suspicion that Toby somehow brought her this unexpected windfall, but the truth remained elusive. Then, one day, an unsettling twist emerged. Cindy retrieved her mail to find an unfamiliar letter written entirely in Chinese. Intrigued and slightly unnerved, she sought a translation, which revealed a chilling message. "We gave you the money. Now leave us alone. We'll finish the dog off when it returns to us to erase all traces." Dread washed over Cindy as she grappled with the implications of the cryptic message. Who were these people? Why had they entrusted her with such a significant sum? And what did they mean by finishing the dog off? Fear gnawed her, mingling with confusion and concern for Toby's safety. As Cindy mulled over her next steps, she couldn't shake the feeling of being unwittingly entangled in a situation far beyond her control. Toby, her faithful companion, now seemed to carry a mysterious secret, one that threatened to unravel her newfound peace and security. Cindy stood in her doorway, stunned by the unexpected arrival of the police. Her mind raced with a whirlwind of thoughts, trying to comprehend why they were there. It felt like everything was spiraling out of control. She had hoped to keep the mysterious money hidden, to avoid any attention that could lead back to her. Reluctantly, Cindy let the officers in, her heart pounding with anxiety. Their presence confirmed her worst fears. Her friend's suspicions had led to this moment. Word had spread about Cindy's sudden extravagance, the expensive dinners, the new outfits, all seemingly beyond her means. Now, faced with questioning from the police, Cindy struggled to explain. The officers, trained to investigate unusual circumstances, probed gently but persistently. How could Cindy afford such luxuries on her salary from a daycare center? Unable to maintain her facade any longer, Cindy revealed the truth about Toby and the money hidden in his collar. The confession hung heavy in the air, marking the turning point in her once quiet life. Concerns escalated as the police connected Cindy's story to ongoing investigations into mysterious financial transactions and disappearances in the city. They suspected a larger scheme at play, perhaps involving illicit activities that Cindy unwittingly found herself entangled in. With a mix of empathy and professional duty, the officers escorted Cindy to the police station for further questioning. At the station, Cindy faced a barrage of inquiries, each question peeling back layers of uncertainty and fear. She cooperated fully, desperate to clear her name and prove her innocence. Amidst the chaos, Cindy recalled the unsettling letter written in Chinese, the ominous message that had set this chain of events in motion. The police, meticulous in their investigation, seized upon every lead. They carefully translated the letter using their resources, poring over its contents repeatedly. Meanwhile, Cindy watched in turmoil as officers combed through her house, searching for any evidence that could corroborate her story. Her hopes rested on the pouch she had described, a tangible link to the strange turn her life had taken. As the search unfolded, tension hummed thick in the air. Cindy's emotions swung between fear and disbelief. She had never imagined herself caught up in such a predicament, yet here she was, her life upended by a series of events she could scarcely comprehend. Through tear-filled eyes, Cindy clung to the hope that the truth would prevail. She knew she had stumbled into something far beyond her control, but she remained steadfast in her belief that honesty would see her through. Amidst the chaos, her thoughts returned to Toby, the unwitting catalyst in this tumultuous chapter of her life. In the quiet moments between questions and searches, Cindy found herself reflecting on the bond she shared with Toby. He had brought unexpected joy into her life, yet now his presence had inadvertently drawn her into a web of intrigue and suspicion. As she awaited the outcome of the investigation, Cindy clung to the hope that justice would prevail, and she could once again find solace in the simplicity of her former quiet life. As Cindy sat in the police station, her mind whirled with uncertainty and anxiety. Just when she thought things couldn't get more bewildering, a familiar face appeared, her neighbor. The woman's presence seemed to tie together disparate threads of the bizarre ordeal Cindy found herself in. The neighbor recounted seeing a dog being left at Cindy's doorstep repeatedly over the past week by a suspicious-looking man. This revelation sparked a new direction for the police investigation. With the house search yielding no evidence of wrongdoing on Cindy's part, the officers shifted their focus to surveillance. Deciding to monitor Cindy's home, the police waited patiently for the next move. True to the neighbor's account, the following day Cindy dutifully let the dog out, as she had done in routine, unknowing of the animal, and watched as it wandered into the nearby woods. Hours later, just as anticipated, a man arrived and returned the dog to her doorstep. Without delay, the police moved in and apprehended him. The man's arrest unveiled shocking details. He was linked to organized crime, specifically the mafia, and the dog, Toby, served as a clandestine courier for passing illicit funds. Cindy's unwitting role in this elaborate scheme became clear. The innocent adoption of Toby from the shelter had unwittingly entangled her in a criminal operation. Relieved that the thorough investigation cleared her of any intentional wrongdoing, Cindy received unexpected news. She was permitted to keep the money she had unknowingly received, recognizing her unwitting role in the mafia's operation. However, a strict condition was imposed. Toby must remain indoors henceforth. It was a small price to pay compared to the uncertainty of legal consequences. As the dust settled and the perpetrators were brought to justice, Cindy reflected on the surreal turn of events. Grateful to avoid jail time and reclaim some semblance of normalcy, she resolved to be more cautious in the future. The ordeal had taught her valuable lessons about vigilance and the unforeseen consequences of seemingly innocuous actions. With Toby safe indoors and the criminal operation dismantled, Cindy embraced a newfound appreciation for the quietude of her suburban life. She was relieved to put the harrowing chapter behind her, focusing instead on rebuilding trust with her community and cherishing the simplicity she once took for granted.